Oh, hey there, what's up guys? Today we're going to talk about Blink Commanders. I've been playing this game for a long time, and back in the olden days of Commander, the Halcyon days as we say, Derevi Imperial Tactician was a dang scourge on the format. So this guy was a green, white, and a blue for a legendary creature, Bird Wizard. It's a 2/3 with flying. Whenever this guy enters the battlefield or a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may tap or untap target permanent. And it also has one green, white, and blue. Put this guy onto the battlefield from the command zone. First off, man, what's going on in this art? I'm going to blow it up so you can see how insane this looks. It's an owl with arms and spears. The wings are really low on the back. I don't know why, man. I was confused by this forever. I don't know what the heck's going on. I didn't know what was going on until I blew it up. Anywho, Derevi seems pretty innocuous, but these decks inevitably devolved into this endless flicker-flacker of silliness where no one else at the table could do anything and there was no win conditions. Plus it's got the pseudo-eminence ability that pushes Derevi into infuriating territory. Anyways, man, he was my introduction to Blink, or she I guess, and is still an amazing Blink commander. You see, most of these effects are centered in white and blue. So yeah, we're gonna go all the way into Blink. And guess what, dude? If you like this video, why don't you subscribe to the channel? You can leave a little like there, you can leave a comment. Every little bit of engagement helps. And if you want to support me monetarily, you can go to that little link in the description, the Buy Me a Coffee site. Special thanks to my dude Tyler, who comes through every month with a little bit of loot for me. I appreciate that, man. Listen, take care of yourself first. It's like when an airplane's going down, you got to put your own oxygen mask on. I'm alright, dude. I have a regular job. But every little bit helps, man. And I appreciate all you guys. The most emblematic and broad of these effects in blue is the Ghostly Flicker. 2 and a blue for an instant, exile 2 target artifacts, creatures, and or lands you control, then return those cards to the battlefield under your control. Importantly, this can target 2 different card types as per the rulings. This is probably the most broad of these effects and can be used to dodge targeted effects if somebody tries to swipe your commander or target your commander or destroy it in any way. Just flicker it, it dodges that removal. Now you're asking yourself, how does it dodge that removal? It's already back on the battlefield because this resolves first if you do it in response to a kill spell. The answer to that is the fun fact that whenever an object changes zones, it becomes a new object with no memory of or relation to its previous self. Once your card gets flickered, it looks exactly like the same card as it did earlier, but the game can't leak this card to the one that was just on the battlefield. Now there are also several efficient instant effects in white that accomplish the same thing. Look at this hot little Avacyn, dude. Take a look at Cloud Shift here. Exile target creature you control, return that card to the battlefield under your control. Definitely not good as Ephemerate, right? Ephemerate does the same thing but with a rebound. Exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Slightly different. It's a subtle difference. If you happen to have temporarily gained control of a creature until the end of turn or something, then it's returned to your control with Cloud Shift, not the owner's control as with Ephemerate. Just something to note. Then we have these cards that return at the end step like Eerie Interlude. 2 and a white for an instant, exile any number of target creatures you control, return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. White and blue are full of these effects. The good thing about this is that it dodges a board wipe. Somebody casts a board wipe, you just exile all your creatures, they come back at end step after that board wipe has resolved. And you thereby trigger all their enter the battlefield effects again. Take a look at little Miss Meadow Witch over here, dude. It's 2 mana for a creature Kithkin Wizard. It's a 1/1. Has 2 white and a blue. Exile target creature, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This used to be a little more highly regarded, but it's not a combo machine because you have to wait for the end step. Not like this guy. The Deadeye Navigator. 4 blue for a creature Spirit. It's a 5/5 with Soul Bond. It's pretty beefy, dude. As long as this guy is paired with another creature, each of those creatures has 1 and a blue. Exile this creature, then return it to the battlefield under your control. This thing is a monster. It's a $6 card. This guy, combined with one of those stupid Peregrine Drake type effects, is an easy 2-card combo to make infinite mana. Look at the old Eldrazi displacer. Looks like a middle school kid, man. 2 and a white for a creature Eldrazi. It's a 3/3 with Devoid. 2 and a colorless. Exile another target creature, then return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. This card's a little funny because it's got a white color identity but needs colorless mana. And it's got Devoid. It says it has no color, but you need white mana, dude. You need a reliable source of wingdings. But even then, it isn't a surmountable thing in an Azorius deck. You just gotta pack in some artifacts. You're packing in Soul Ring anyway. Just something to think about. Then we have some permanents with this type of text. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile target creature you control, return that card to the battlefield under your control. Conjurer's Closet. Alright, this was an old standby. It's a little less efficient nowadays. Then the old soul herder came along. Look at this guy with his tiny head. Looks like a bodybuilder out there. Seb McKinnon really nails it, dude. I don't know, man. I know he's controversial and all, but that art is bonkers. Teleportation Circle came along with the Dungeons & Dragons flavor. A little more efficient than Conjurer's Closet, but color locked to white. Then we had Thassa Deep Dwelling. It's another good one, man. This has a 6'5 body attached, it's indestructible, and has that overcosted tap ability. Pretty efficient, but that's why it's $10. Now Thassa can also be your commander like this guy, the original, Rune of the Hidden Realm. 2 green, white, and blue for a legendary creature, a Rhino Soldier, just like Nikki G. It's a 4/4 with Vigilance and Tramp stamps. This guy has 2 and tap, exile another target creature. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. This guy's all the way back from 2013. Has a very similar body to your host here, Nikki G. This guy's built like a spark plug and is a decent commander. I like Rune because his name rhymes with balloon, but I'm a little partial to Emil the Blessed. 2 and a white for a legendary creature, Unicorn. It's a 4/4. Has 3, exile another target creature you control, return to the battlefield under its owner's control. This guy also has some stuff about unicorns and +1/+1 counters, but that doesn't really matter because he doesn't tap to use his ability. He lends himself very nicely to combo, though he's still missing the blue color identity. Then we got this lady straight out of the holiday edition of Lord of the Rings here. You got Galadriel, the Light of Valinor. 2 green, white, and a blue for a legendary creature, Elf Noble. It's a 3/3. It has Alliance. Of course it does. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Add 3 green mana, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, or scry 2, then draw a card. Galadriel is a payoff to all your blink shenanigans and can be a very powerful commander, although the fact that these things you can only trigger once per turn, you'd have to blink her too. Perhaps the most powerful blink commander is this guy, and he brags about it all the time. He's the King Eternal. 2 white and a blue for a legendary creature, Spirit Noble. It's a 2/4 with flying. Whenever this guy deals combat damage to a player, exile any number of target non-land permanents you control, then return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. I like Brago. I like his style. He's like a ghostly armored Santa. Braga is super powerful, bringing wisdom from beyond the grave. This guy's super easy to combo out with, although he's a little fragile, man. Get your Lightning Greaves or your Swiftfoot Boots out there. So what about Esper Blink, brother? You got Aminatu, the Fate Shifter, white, blue, and a black for a legendary planeswalker, an Aminatu. It starts with loyalty 3. So the -1 is kind of where your meat is here. Exile another target permanent you own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. So basically, if somebody else gets control of your stuff, you can exile it and get it back, which is relevant for the -6. Choose left or right. Each player gains control of all non-land permanents other than Aminatu, the Fate Shifter, controlled by the next player in the chosen direction. So listen, man, this is an interesting, although perhaps not the most powerful commander in the world, but she's kind of a creepy toddler. She's got the Silence of the Lambs moss hanging around, dude. I'm a fan, man. Plus you get all those sweet ETB removal effects in black. Alright, one more and then I gotta go have some spaghetti and meatballs. So this is in Jeskai colors. Pramicon makes a decent blink commander. It's a blue, red, and a white for a legendary creature wall. It's a 1/5 with flying and defender. So this guy enters the battlefield, choose left or right. Each player may attack only the nearest opponent in the chosen direction and planeswalkers controlled by that opponent. Kind of looks like they phoned in the art on this one, man. It's a legendary wall, Well, this allows you to direct the violence while blinking for value and hunting for your win conditions. The effectiveness of this card is demonstrated by how salty it makes everyone. This basically removes 2/3 of your combat options and can be blinked to reset its effect if the guy to your right is getting more powerful. Very cool card. Frustrating to play against, kind of fun. I just want to know what the art direction was on Pramicon. It's like, oh, hey, listen, we got to have a diamond shape. There's got to be some colored lights in the sky, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, where I live right now is covered in snow. Many thanks to the kind supporters out there. I mentioned my dude Tyler, supporting again, love you brother. If you want to support the channel, just like and subscribe, or you can buy me a coffee at the link in the description. I appreciate all you guys so very much, man. I feel like I'm covered in a warm blanket everywhere I go because of the love of this community. It's Nikki G from Better Commander, signing off.